Yo, what's good, YouTube? You were live once again with the Woodstaff for a new dose. This one is about my battle with the DWP. Now, just a little bit of a bit of backstory. Well, the water company said that I owed them money, which, if anyone knows anything about the water company, it's actually no one knows, money for water or anything. They decided, instead of accepting £1 a week, which they should have done, they decided to go through behind my back and put in a letter to the DWP to get money basically every week or every couple of weeks or whatever. I think it's once a month. So they basically decided upon themselves to write to the DWP and ask them to take money directly out of my deficit. Now, if anyone out there knows the law, they will know it's it's completely unlawful. And if anyone knows the difference between unlawful and illegal, I'm sure you guys will understand, but that's something that I might cover in another video. Anyway, so I'll give you a little bit of backstory. What's basically to come is I was given the wrong number. First of all, they give me the number for Pip. I had to battle it out with them, and you'll see me put them in their place. I'll slap them down quite a few times in this, vocally that is. Essentially what they actually did is they tried to tell me that it was legal and it was acceptable for them to do that. They also told me whilst I was on the phone, I have no human rights, or to be more specific, I have no right to freedom of speech, which, if anyone knows anything about freedom of speech, there's no such thing as a free speech zone. I mean, yes, they do technically exist, but they're not supposed to exist. This is, a part of the tyrannical world we live in. So essentially, YouTube, this is just my battle, just to show you guys essentially what you have to do and how to battle and how to deal with these pricks. Essentially, this is one of many battles that certainly it takes the endurance, and the more that you keep fighting and fighting and fighting, eventually, it's like it's a house of cards, and essentially you/me/whoever will get their outcome. They're playing hardball at the moment, and they know basically I've got them by the balls, and you will hear that in the coming audio. So enjoy the video, sit back, chill, relax. I've tried to do a lot with the audio as well. I've also really tried to edit it and tried to get it as clear as possible, but I'm obviously using my mobile phone obviously for the conversation, and not only am I using the phone, I'm trying to put it on speakerphone, and I've really tried to amplify everything so you can hear it. So if there's any questions about what was said, or if you need anything, I can always put annotations up later. Now, I do like to do these videos in one long session, which I did. The full video was 45 minutes. There was a lot of waiting time, being on the phone, blah, 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 playing the stupid job centre music. So essentially, I'm going to be cutting this down. So I don't want people to go, well, I thought you do these in one take, blah, 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 blah. I can see cut. And basically, there's certain parts of this video that's going to be silenced, because obviously I'm giving my personal information, which also brings me on to another point. I mean, it's okay for me to give my personal information to essentially a complete stranger, but when I asked one of them for their full name, they told me they wasn't allowed to give me their surname. It just shows the whole double standard of things, really, doesn't it? But anyway, I hope you enjoy this presentation. I've put a lot of work into the audio, and I hope you guys like. Peace.
To help us direct your call, please select the following three options. If you are calling to make a new claim to personal independence payment, please press 1. To report a death or check what help may be available following a bereavement, please press 2. And for all other inquiries, please press 3. Please be aware that this call may incur a charge. You will be charged at the rate set by your service provider. Your call may be monitored or recorded for legal and training purposes and to help us improve our services. If you are a current disability living allowance claimant and have received a letter about personal independence payment, please press 1. If you are calling about personal independence payment, waiting time for personal expense payment assessment. We expect that most people will have their assessment in 60 weeks or less once they have received your housing disability and rescue form.
Good afternoon, you through to the department for works and pensions. My name's Tony. How can I help?
Yes, hi. Can I put through to Christopher Macy, the correspondence management, please?
Personal independence payment?
No. Christopher Macy, the correspondence. It's I want to speak to Christopher Macy, the correspondence manager. Hello? I'd like to speak to Christopher Macy, the correspondence manager.
I can't hear you, sir. Can you put your mouth to the phone?
I would like to speak to Christopher Macy, the correspondence manager.
Right, is it regarding a PIP claim?
Yes, sort of.
Yeah.
I just want to, he sent me a letter and I want to talk to him directly, which he says in this letter that I'm able to do.
No, you can't talk directly. We can put a request in for somebody to call you back.
Well, I want to speak to him directly.
You can't. I can put a request in for somebody to call you back. I can't do it now. I can request a 5-day call back.
A 5-day callback? This is ridiculous.
Right, have you got your national insurance number there?
Now, I'd also like to make a few things clear, because obviously you've got a system there and you can obviously put notes. Now, I sent him a letter about the unlawful decision based to take money out of my entitlement to pay a third party, well, in this case it's a water company. Now, I've asked them to send me specific proof that I actually owe this money and a declaration signed by myself to agree for the DWP to take money out of my entitlement, which you guys haven't got.
Just confirm yes or no, are you receiving any benefits?
Yes.
And just confirm your mobile number for me. Okay, and your postcode as well. Let's just get your details up here. How can I help you on your case?
Say that again?
How can I help you?
Oh, how can you help me? Well, basically, the money that's been taken unlawfully from my entitlement needs to be put back and returned to myself, and it needs to be stopped because this is unlawful. Otherwise, I'll be taking people to court. This is about the ESA. This is
Right, so this is to do with the SA?
It's to do with the employment support allowance. That's correct.
Right, we need to call an employment support allowance then.
Well, according to the number that I was given, I have called the employment support. It says here, if you want on your ESA, please contact the number that I've just rung.
Yeah, the number three SA is 0345
Yeah.
608
Yeah.
8545.
Well, I'm sure that's the number I've just called. But no worries. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Department for Work and Pension. Please be that this call may incur a charge.
I like the way they will not let me talk to them
By
directly.
your service provider. This number is for benefit inquiries only. If you are calling to make a new claim to benefit, please redial 0800 055 6688. You have 5 options. For income support, please press 1. For job seekers allowance, press 2. For employment and support allowance, your call may be monitored or recorded for legal and training purposes and to help us improve our services. If you have recently sent us medical evidence, such as a fit note, we will contact you by text or post as soon as we have dealt with it. Please leave 14 days from the date the evidence before you contact for an update. Please hold if you need to speak to an agent for any other reason. Thank you.
Here we go again.
Please hold, and your call will be answered as soon as possible.
Job Centre Plus. Most big foreign service centre. How can I help?
Yeah, hi. I have a reference here. Would you like that?
I have to ask what you call about first, please.
Well, in regards to this letter that I have the reference.
What's the letter about?
Well, I'll give you the reference first. It's
That reference won't be unique to me, unfortunately. So do you have a claim for ESA at the moment?
yes, I do.
What does the letter say?
Well, the letters basically, well, it seems like there's been a bit of a mix-up, but I wrote directly to Ian Duncan Smith in regards to an unlawful decision being made in the benefit of a third party, in this case a water company, to take money out of my entitlement. There's been no declaration signed by myself to say that this can happen, which is totally unlawful, and this needs to be dealt with. And the letter's saying basically, well, I think the person who's replying has got the wrong end of the stick, because they're telling me, well, it's telling me a lot of crap, to be honest. I need this dealt with because it's unlawful, and unless you guys, which I've given you more than 14 days, can actually prove a declaration between myself has been signed to give you guys the authority to take money out of my entitlement, basically, this needs to be resolved or I'm taking it to court.
But I'm pretty sure that the water company has got a legal mandate to have your arrears paid back through your benefit.
Well, have you got any proof that I owe this money? Have you got any proof that I owe this money? Because at the end of the day, there's no proof that I owe this money. There is no declaration at all to say anything. So you're taking the word of a third party.
Yeah, we would take the word of court mandate.
There has been, there's no court mandate gone through. There has been no declaration by myself to say that I give the authority to this. The DWP cannot act on their wishes. At the end of the day, you give me my money, and unless I write a declaration, you are not allowed to take from my entitlement.
That's unfortunately, that's not strictly speaking true.
That is true. I know the law. Do you know the law? Because I'm sorry, there's either two scenarios. Either you don't know the law, that you shouldn't be doing your job, or secondly, you do know the law and you're just as much as criminal as Ian Duncan Smith.
Sorry, well, we can have a look at your claim, but you just need to keep those kind of statements to yourself.
No, I don't need to keep my statements to myself. I have a right to freedom of speech. What's the matter? What's the matter? You don't like being pushed. You don't like being pushed on things, do ya?
Okay, no, unfortunately, you don't have the right to freedom of speech on this call.
Whoa. Did he just say what I think he just said? Rewind.
No, unfortunately, you don't have the right to freedom of speech on this call.
Hold on a sec. I think he did say it. One more time.
No, unfortunately, you don't have the right to freedom of speech on this call.
Yes, he did say I have no freedom of speech whilst I'm on the phone call to the DWP. Well, fuck you, DWP. Right back. Fuck you.
No, unfortunately, you don't have the right to freedom of speech on this call.
Oh, I don't have a right. I don't have a right to freedom of speech on this call. So is there a free speech zone? No, I'm sorry. I have a right to freedom of speech, and you people in the DWP are total criminals. Especially your Ian Duncan Smith, and I've got a right to say that to anyone I want. I want this looked into, or I'm taking you lot to court. End of story.
That's fair enough. But if you use that language again, about criminals.
Excuse me, what language? I'm sorry, criminal is not a swear word. If you get offended by it, then you shouldn't be a criminal, or work for a criminal organisation.
Okay, that's it. If you say it one more time, I will end the call.
You're a bit pathetic, aren't you? What's the matter? You offended by the truth?
Okay, so you have been offensive, so I'm afraid I am going to...
Offensive? Mate, I'm making a recording of this now, so this is going on YouTube to see how pathetic you are. Apparently, I'm offensive because I called them a criminal. What's the matter? Does the truth hurt? I guess the truth hurts. They really don't like the truth being told, do they? Did I swear? I'll even check the footage. I'm sure I didn't swear, but he says it's offensive because I called him a criminal. He said if I do it a third time, he's going to cut me off. Did I say it the third time? No. So I'm just going to ring them again. And I want you guys to be there front row and centre. Because apparently I do not have freedom of speech on this call. That's interesting for YouTube to hear. And also apparently I'm offensive because I called them a criminal. This country is ridiculous. Oh look, we're going back on for line 2.
Your call will be answered as soon as possible.
So we'll try this again.
We are sorry, but all our customer service agents are busy at the moment.
Well, apparently YouTube, I don't have freedom of speech on this call. Well, I'm just going to continue to use my freedom of speech on this call and get in their face and call them criminals, because that's what the fuck they are. And it's offensive for me to call them criminals, so they really can't face the truth, can they, YouTube? I just hope you guys are actually picking up. I put it on speakerphone, so I'm hoping you guys can pick it up and you can actually hear it clearly. But if for any reason you can't, I'll add some sort of text or something at the bottom, some sort of caption, so I can sort of type roughly what they're saying. I'll try and get it word for word.
Our opening times are from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday. We are normally less busy between 8 a.m.
This is the country that we live in, which is technically more of a corporation, but essentially, no freedom of speech on this call. And apparently I was offensive. I didn't even call him a cunt, which is what he is, but, you know. How many ways do they want to brainwash you with this brain numbing music? Well, I'll make sure I get their name this time and I'll say it for the recording. Just so you lovely people can have a go at them as well. If you so choose to. Oh, I love it when people don't know.
Craig speaking, how can I help?
Yeah, hi, can I take your full name, please?
Yeah, Craig. I'm not allowed to give you a surname, I can give you the contact centre and team number.
Okay, so your name's Craig, and what's the details you said you can give me?
The contact centre that you come through to.
And what is that?
It's Makerfield Contact Centre.
Okay.
And the team number that I'm on is Team 35.
Team 35. So your name's Craig. So just for, you know, just for interest, well, just for curiosity really, why are you not allowed to give your last name?
It's just for security purposes really.
Okay, well, I just thought I'd ask. Right, I've tried to get a little bit of dialogue with Ian Duncan Smith. Right. And basically, the DWP has made an unlawful decision in regards to taking money from my entitlement. Now, I have sent a letter documenting the law that they have actually broken, and I've given basically Ian Duncan Smith 14 days to actually prove declaration that A, that I owe this money, and B, that I have signed giving you guys permission to go into my entitlement and basically pay the third party company. In this case, it's a water company.
Right, okay.
Now, the letter, I think there's a misunderstanding. It says, I was sorry to hear that you're unhappy with the way that we've dealt with one of your benefit claims. Our records show that your employment terms, blah, blah, blah. It's not clear from your letter which assessment you're unhappy with. I am able to confirm that if you sign all claim forms, you give permission for us to take the appropriate action to investigate your claim. This isn't about investigating a claim as such. It's about the unlawful decision that the DWP has made against me personally. Now, that is unlawful, and it needs to be dealt with. All the money needs to be returned to me, or I'll be taking people to court. That's essentially what I said in the letter. I showed them the law, and that is what they basically send me back. So I'd like that updated on the records, and I also want to get this dealt with.
What's your national insurance number, please?
I believe that's correct, yes.
Thank you. Just take a minute to get your details up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you just confirm your full name, including any middle names for me, please? Take you through the security questions. Apart from ESA, are you currently in receipt of any other benefits?
Apart from I'm calling from.
Thank you. And your marital status, please. Okay, that's absolutely fine. That's security. Let's just have a quick look over your record. I may have to arrange for the processing centre to call you back because you just through to the contact centre here, really. So they'll obviously have records of your claim and everything. Let's just have a look.
Well, can I ask, why can I not be put through directly to them? Because with all respect, I mean this with all the respect in the world, if you can't obviously answer my query, then surely I should be able to be put through to them.
It works on a callback system, basically. If we can't answer, because we answer 85% of the queries, the 15% that we can't answer, we refer back as a callback to them, and then they would ring you back.
Well, it seems a bit of an unfair system to me that they can get hold of you and you can't get hold of them.
Yeah, because if they basically took all the calls and they'd never have a chance to process any claims or get any other work.
I understand that, but surely if I want to speak to someone, there should be someone in the office that I should be able to be put through to. And as you said, it's only 15% of the calls. So at the end of the day, I shouldn't have to wait for a callback. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And that's how it works, unfortunately. All we can do is arrange the call back from the process centre and they would ring you directly then and you can speak to them. So that's what I'm going to do for you today. I'm going to arrange the call back and get them to speak to you about it. What date did you send your letter in? And did you send it to the process centre?
No, I sent it directly to Ian Duncan Smith. And basically, it was responded by Christopher Macy, the correspondence manager.
Christopher Macy.
Macy, yeah, I think that's, or Massey, or Macy, I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
Okay, thanks. Just going to type your details for this call, because I'm not being more.
No problem.
And the number you're calling on now, that would be the best telephone number to call you back on, yeah?
It would, yeah. And I'm sure they're not going to call me back, so it's going to be Monday, I'm guessing, because it's only 2 hours.
It could be today, but yeah, like you say, it's a 3-hour one. It runs over to Monday, up to 10:15 on Monday. So I'll send this.
Well, if it's on a Monday, can you ask for an afternoon call? Because obviously.
Okay, so if the call is going to be Monday, you want it in the afternoon?
I'd like it in the it'd have to be in the afternoon because.
And it's about getting all the. So they started taking deductions for water, did they?
That's correct.
You don't agree with that?
It's not that I don't agree with it. It's actually it's actually unlawful action. They've actually broken the law by doing that.
Okay, I'm going to send it across. It should be from an 0845 or 08000 number that calls you back. And I've asked if it is going to be Monday, then it can be in the afternoon.
So it won't be a private number.
It should be 0845 or 08000.
Magic. So I should be able to call that number back.
The number would just come back through to the contact centre. You wouldn't be be able to ring them directly. It doesn't give the number out.
Seems like they got something to hide to me, all of this secrecy, a bit cloak and dagger if you ask me.
It's just so that, like I say, the calls don't go direct to them, then they got time to process all the other work.
Okay, also can I ask, obviously you've got, well, rules and stuff that govern you, but can you tell me the conditions that would, basically get one of your members of staff, one of your colleagues to put the phone down on someone?
Well, the only reason someone would put the phone down is if, obviously, swearing, being rude, shouting, things like that. That was probably the only thing that would warrant putting the phone down, or if they've given all the information that they can.
You see, this is what I thought, and the reason I asked is because I had the phone put down on me, because I basically, apparently, on this call, I have no right to freedom of speech. This is what was said on the last call. There was no shouting, there was no swearing, but because I basically shared an opinion, they put the phone down on me.
Yeah. I mean, they should warn you not to obviously speak about anything that we can't really go into. They should give you 2 warnings, basically, before putting the phone down. They shouldn't just put the phone down.
Well, they shouldn't really put the phone down for someone sharing an opinion anyway, really, to be fair. Like you said, the conditions are shouting, swearing, or if basically, like you said, everything's been discussed.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to get that proven. I just wanted to see your take on that.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, like I said, I've arranged this call back for you.
Yep.
So if you've not heard anything, say by 10:15, well, if it's going to be Monday, I've asked them to ring in the afternoon, so it could be in the afternoon. But if you've not heard anything by the end of the day, you can give us a call back and we will chase it up, but you should hear something before then.
Well, before the end of the day? Did you say before the end of the day?
Well, like I say, it should be either up to 5 o'clock today, and if you wanted calling in the morning, it would be obviously before 10:15, but I've asked them if it's Monday to only ring in the afternoon, so it could be a couple of hours after the afternoon.
But tomorrow's Saturday.
Yeah, but it'll be Monday.
Right, no worries.
Alright.
Alright, thank you very much, Craig.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers, bye.
Thanks, bye.
As I'm sure you guys heard on that, I asked him the conditions where one of himself or one of his colleagues would put the phone down. And as far as I can see, I didn't shout, I didn't swear, I stated my case. This is the tyrannical business that we live upon. This is the point that we can't get to the people that can make these decisions on us. We have to go through a call centre. And we have to wait for a callback. See, at the end of the day, I've got things to do. I want to deal with it now. Now, okay, sometimes in life things don't go the way, exactly as we want, but it's ridiculous. You have to wait for a callback. I'm not allowed to know his surname, but he's allowed to know my surname, my slave number, and that's my national insurance number, other people, if you guys don't know. And basically they're allowed to know everything about me, but I'm not even allowed to know the guy's surname. Unbe-fucking-believable. Right, YouTube, I'm going to save this, do a bit of editing, cut a few of the, personal details out, and I'll get back to you. Alright. One love, people. Safe.